as a parent as well. So no, yes, actually, they're probably slow. Welcome to another episode of Dyslexia with Success. My name is Petronila Ngeka, and I am your host. I am here today to talk to you about running a business as a dyslexic adult, and I'm going to go through a few things, problems and solutions that I personally encountered as a dyslexic adult. So it is important for you to know that if you're running a business as a dyslexic adult and words and numbers are not your best friend, honestly, the struggle is a lot bigger than another person who is neurotypical. So, some of the problems I encountered as a business person when I started my business was writing and communication. Obviously, as you know, dyslexia is a difficulty for someone to spell, read, and write, and spelling is one of my biggest challenges. Anyway, so the problem I had when I started my business was reading emails and writing them. It was very hard. And grammar and spelling was my biggest problem, as it has always been through education. So some of the things I did was kind of home on my admin skills. So my admin supported me a lot in writing the emails. Sometimes when I didn't have to have my admin around, I had to do it from home or from wherever I was. I needed to reply to an email. I use some solutions like Speechify, Speech Notes. Speech Notes is an app that you can get on Google, actually. I have it on my phone, so I speak, I dictate my email on there, and then I kind of now transfer it onto Word and try and use Grammarly to correct the grammar before I send it. Also, bookkeeping was a big problem for me when I started my business. It was so bad, I lost over £50,000. Yes, I did. And you'll be asking, how did you lose that much money, Petronila? I was very bad at bookkeeping. So I would not put my invoices on time. So the local authority normally would have a date that you submit your invoices, and then you have a fixed date, 90 days after that it will get paid. Because I missed those dates to submit my invoices, I had an alert from the local authority that they owe me a lot of money. I sat down and tried to raise the invoices. Some of them I missed date and time. Some of the patients had passed away, so it was quite difficult. So I had paperwork overload, a lot of problem with paperwork. So I learned the hard way. So I got an admin that had to do all my paperwork. I also had the software Zero, but I didn't know how to use it. So later on, I sat down, reflected on this incident. I sent the invoices to the local authority. They said they can't pay them because the timeline has passed. That's how I lost the money. I stopped the business altogether and said, what is happening? Guess what? It was my dyslexia. I was overwhelmed with too much text, too much to read. I didn't have enough time. I was out. And I'm sure you'll be asking the question, so how did you run the business on Zero? Yes, I did have private clients who paid me on a weekly basis. So those private clients, all their money came and I used it on running costs. And the money I should have got for other patients, I didn't. So I did business badly. I failed, which we'll come back on that subject another time. But then I learned and I put systems in place now as a successful businesswoman. I have a system in place where I have my accountant doing all the finances. We also use Zero for our invoicing. My admin does the job on time. We follow all the systems and the policies. So one of the things that I did on my reflection was that I decided to hire a gentleman who is very good on writing policy. He understands legislation. He became like my business mentor, basically. When I read an email, And, sometimes some social workers, some people will be very polite. They say, oh, the lady that came to look after my mother, she was very nice. She was very nice. But they're trying to probably raise a problem, but they were appreciating her. So I cannot pick those cues. So sometimes that my mentor, is a Scottish guy, he still works with me. His job is just to probably digest some of my complex emails or documentations. So I pay him annually. And yeah, that has been a massive relief on the part of the things that I'm unable to do with my dyslexia. It has really boosted my business. I feel also less stress. I'm very calm because there are systems in place. There are people in place who are now helping me to run my business effectively. And that's how I run my business effectively as a dyslexic businesswoman. So, some other things that I also encounter, which is also down to documentation, legislation, contracts. Okay. I did one of the most stupid things. I signed a contract without reading because, as you know, contracts are pages and pages, and they're very, very small, fine prints there. And I signed that contract, and it tied me down to an agreement that I didn't know. So those are some of the things that I did as a dyslexic adult that I've learned from it. But it doesn't mean that I did not succeed in business, but those are the lessons, the problems I encounter. And now, moving forward, the things that I have done is to have somebody read those complex contracts for me, digest them, and tell me whether it is okay for me to sign them or not. So basically, being dyslexic doesn't mean that you should not run your business. The challenge is there. Like I said to you, it's bigger than for another person who is neurotypical, but you can still do it. Another problem that I encountered as a businesswoman was fear. Fear was the biggest thing I had. I knew that sometimes my mind fails me, my spelling fails me, and I thought, oh my God, can I do this? Many times I said I want to stop. But that same fear, which was a weakness, I home on to that fear to be my momentum to succeed because I didn't want to count that as another statistics of one of the things I failed in. I started a business, I failed. It is important that when you fail, you learn from your mistakes and then you move to doing the right thing. So I use fear as a way to tell myself that I must succeed. I give 200% of everything I do when I'm running my business or I'm doing anything. I try to give my best, my almost, to what I'm doing so that I can succeed. And probably I would say the numbers today will prove that that has been proven to be correct or to be good for me and the business I run. I do run a few businesses, but for now, I want to share with you the challenges that I encountered as a dyslexic adult running a business and how I managed to overcome these problems and succeeding. Okay, so it is very important that you think about dyslexia as a different way of succeeding, not just that thing that stops you. And also, I will tell you that my dyslexia is also a superpower because I have very good analytical skills. I also have very good visual skills, so I can look at something and I interpret it. So I was able to look at my patient's journey and their story and their background, and I'm able to forecast what I need to do next. And that was something that my team with me in the office, we always laugh about because they're like, oh, Petronilla, you're so good. You said this thing and it happened. Why do you say you're dyslexic? I am dyslexic. That's for true. But I have that strength to be able to analyze the story and know that the next outcome will be B or Z. So that is something that has helped a lot in my business. It's helped me also with my people's management skills. So I'm able to know that what this person is thinking and what the next person is thinking. So I would encourage anybody who has some of these dyslexic traits, who wants to start a business today, that don't let it be that thing that is stopping you. Don't let dyslexia be your excuse. Let dyslexia be your strength. Find your strength. We all experience dyslexia differently. I experience dyslexia differently from my son. He's very good with numbers, and, he knows how to do certain things that I can't. So that's why I would encourage anybody to not use dyslexia as an excuse. And some of the things I would like you to take away from this episode of Dyslexia with Success is that dyslexia, running a business as a dyslexic business owner, does not mean that you cannot succeed. Instead, it means that you can succeed differently from other people. Your story is different from other people's story. And you also need to remember that dyslexia does not take away your leadership skills, your creativity, your vision, because I have a very big vision for myself. I have goals I set and milestones for the business. And to be honest with you, I'm really happy that I've been able to do this. And I hope this episode of this podcast helps somebody, motivates and encourage somebody out there who has been thinking and stopping themselves. So next time you feel weighed down by emails, spreadsheet, remind yourself, you don't have to do this alone. You can leverage other people's skills. You can employ people. You can ask for help. And one of the things that I would like you to remember is that you need to get accountability partners, such as family members that are on your side who can support you. In the pandemic, I had my daughter. When I read my emails, because my dyslexia is one that if I write, I will omit a word. So I could say, I'll be going to London tomorrow, and then I'll write, I will, then going, I omit it, then I just write London. So when I give it to my daughter, who was then like 13, 14 years old, she will read it and say, this doesn't sound right, mommy. So get an accountability partner if you want to prepare yourself for a business success as a dyslexic adult. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you feel encouraged and you just needed to hear this to take that one step, then share this video with other people and stay tuned to other episodes of Dyslexia with Success, where I will bring other people on this platform to talk about how they overcome dyslexia. And today they are successful business owner or successful in their own right in whatever they wanted to do in life. So thank you and stay tuned. Bye for now.